So police just can't come up in your house without having a warrant. And you got to be able to read because
no, they can't come up in your house without having a search warrant.
They got to have a search warrant.
They see if they can show you an arrest warrant, and then that'll trick everybody else to say, oh, they can come in and look for that nigga that they chasing or they think is in there.
Yeah.
No, he's not here. Yeah. Oh, well, can I come in and search? No, motherfucker, this is where I live. I told you he don't live here.
Right.
And you got the wrong color warrant to search for him. So I said, so what's your next move? He said, I said, that's what I thought. I slammed the door in his face. Man, get out my property, man.
You did the right thing.
You know what I mean, now, I ain't taking up for my kid, because my kid, whatever my kid did.
But that's between him, you know, he grown though, right?
Yeah, exactly. Okay. They gotta do their job. Right. They can't do it over here.
Right.
Yeah, exactly.
And so,
that's the difference between being
and if you want the homeowner,
they could have come in my goddamn house.
Because the property owner could have gave him permission.
There you go. The police work for the owner without their consent. The property owner don't got to give them consent. If they know that it's a Section 8 rental, that you don't own
anything like that,
they will buffalo you and it don't stand up in court.
Right, because they can say, like, we have permission from the owner. I feel what you're saying.
Because the police department is set up to protect owners. When they first started, all their interest was in collecting, going to get slaves to bring back to the owners.
That was back then. Right.
Yeah.
So
it's progression.
So just as an educational moment again, policing is rooted in slavery, right?
Yes, it is.
Because the people who they sanctioned to go find people who had been enslaved. Let me change that. Who had been enslaved. Who were enslaved. They weren't slaves. Like, that's their title. Like, that's their ranking. They were enslaved.
Enslaved
human beings.
Exactly. They weren't
black
slaves.
people.
They wasn't slaves.
They were treated like they was treated like such, you know. But and so that's just so y'all can know that. But so now you got a house. What about working in like what kind of struggles have you had from working and like having job? Because I remember when I was on the inside, I used to hear you was doing good. You was raising education awareness around HIV. You was working non-profit organizations, and you was engaged in some very positive. Your name was out here. People was talking about you in a positive way, and so was that fulfilling type of work for you?
It was fun to me, man.
It was fun. You was doing
out around my folks, man. I think, but. You know what they used to emphasize a lot about? Taking time out to woosah because you get burnt out on that kind of stuff. Man.
Right. You gotta relax. So I take trips. That's how I relax. Exactly. I'm in the airplane.
But I had a ball, man, when I first got out, man, because what they were doing was the HIV thing was really big at that point.
Right.
I'm not sure how rampant it was as far as running through the community, but. And what they were finding was that they couldn't find people who could go down and talk to the people who were shooting and smoking.
Were they scared or something or what?
I think they were, because when I got out, I figured I could go to the same places I could go to before I got locked up, but I just went with the foolishness.
Right.
And people knew me, and that type of thing. So when they
feel like y'all saved some lives, anything like that?
I think so. I mean, if we didn't,
but at least y'all was.
We made some people aware. I had a cat the other night tell me that he had seen a girl, she was thick, and she was walking from a store or something, you know what I'm saying? She had a bad in her hand, shit like that. And then he talked to her, then he said, man, I think my life got saved. I said, why you say that? I said, man, I talked to this broad the other day, and he told me all about what was going on. Then he said, man, then the broad told me that she been HIV positive for 30 years.
Wow.
He could have, you know what I'm saying? I was like, whoa, she did save your life, but then, but I think that what the work that we was doing was got people comfortable enough to tell people that, you know what I'm saying, beforehand, before they get
because it's not a death certificate now, but like, I remember this Lil Wayne, the rapper Lil Wayne, he said, I bounced back like magic, abracadabra.
Yeah.
I mean, you know what I'm saying? But, some people don't even think magic even had AIDS. They feel like, it was a scam to push them on through. But I don't believe that. But I'm just saying some people think like that. But anyway.
Dude, I used to work for he used to take the same 2 pills that Magic takes every day. Yeah. And he's still living now.
Yeah, that's what's up. That's what's up. So now that you done been working, you been out for a minute, man. you got to have at least one thing that you can say has been the biggest struggle. At least, if not two things, the biggest struggle since you've been out of prison.
Relationship.
And when you say relationship,
male-female relationship,
just with your woman or the woman that you know, because you've been married, right?
That's been the biggest struggle. That's the biggest hurdle that cats should watch for.
Before that, I remember you telling me, man, this is what you told me. I was talking to you on the phone. I'm in prison. You said, man, I'm gonna have to get committed, man. I'm a sex addict.
Yeah.
You remember telling me that?
I remember telling you that.
I said, what? I said, that's just normal, man. I said, that's how we do. You know what I'm saying? Yo, G.
At that point, I was a maniac, bro.
But you know, you calmed on down, man.
But my thought was that, cause you know, the lesson taught me how to be a scientist. So my thought was to try to figure out how to combat this, because I know this ain't healthy for my growth, because you know what I'm saying, I'm trying to have something out here and do what I do.
Right, and you just can't jump in and out of relationships.
Yeah. So I figured, like, man, if I could just get one motherfucker that's a fucking maniac, then I'm good.
Y'all be matched up.
Yeah, you see what I'm saying?
Y'all be matched up. Y'all
like, that's where the commitment part comes in. So because I figure, like, then I can get that part off my mind. So if I ain't thinking about sex, I can get out here and build some shit. You know
so what's the hardest part about if it's relationships? Because this is not just you. This is happening with a lot of people that's formerly incarcerated, and it's not just males. Even formerly incarcerated females, women that I know who have had, you know, difficulty maintaining a harmonious connection. Because for me, like, it's about communication. It's like, if we can talk it out, we can stay together. If we share the same values, same interests. Like, I like the kind of women, and I don't go by the race, but most of my women been black women. I've been with one white woman in my life. You know, she cold. You know what I'm saying? Cold. Turning and everything. I mean, smart. I like smart women. Yeah. Cause it's like, I'm missing some shit. You know what I'm saying? I don't really, my mind, I can, but if a woman can bring me, you know, say, hey, baby, do it like this here, try this thing, I listen. You know, I'm hard-headed, but, you know, I like a small woman, you know what I'm saying? But I also like a woman that is sexually comfortable with herself in a way that, you know, we can both, we can just not just physically get naked, but we can get mentally naked. We can go emotionally naked and expose the most vulnerable parts of who we are, secrets, and share some shit, and you know, just be able to just share, man. Because you know, when the folks did what they did to me in prison by taking my name, giving me a number, get naked, we gonna strip search you. They took all of them. They made us take all shave, all I have, mustache and everything. I was like, well, hell, I done been as naked as you can be from a physical and then psychological. Then if I can be this way with my woman, we can be cool. But what I found to be true for me is that I got issues too, man. I'm gonna tell you something that happened to me, man. And this ain't even with a relationship. Cause when I got out, I was living with my mama, man. Thank God she was still alive. My mama's still alive, man. Florida and young. I'm not calling you by a dude that you married because you ain't with him no more. But man, I would leave. I would come back home, man, and I would shut my damn door. And finally, one day, my mom said, why you come home and shut your door? I said, what? Yeah, when you come home, it's like something wrong with you. You just shut your door. Yeah. I didn't even know I was shutting my door. Yeah. And so guess what? I came up with this concept. I call it IDD, Institutionalized Dependency Disorder. It manifests in more than one way, but the worst way that it manifests is that a dude or a woman gets out of prison and they have not transformed, because there ain't no such thing as rehabilitation, because RE is a prefix that means back. You can't return back to something that you never was to begin with. Exactly. But when people get out of prison, and because there is no transformation, meaning the ability to be self-aware and to think your way up out of a moment before it becomes a crisis. The moment they get a certain level of stress, they revert back to the old self. I call that IDD, and this is why I call it that. When I started taking college classes in prison, I remember reading about this scientist named Pavlov. He did an experiment on these dogs. And for about 60 days, man, he would feed these dogs. And before he fed them, he would ring a bell. After about the 60-something day, all he had to do was ring a motherfucking bell, man, and they started salivating. What the hell do they think is happening to human beings that every single morning they hearing these keys, nighttime, chow time, lockdown, all this? What do you think happened to human beings,
they
man?
Get hungry.
You know what I'm saying? But I'm just saying from a psychological, if a dog can be trained to salivate after 60-something days, and we been in prison for 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, 6 years, and we the same thing, you can't leave prison without, and you were just telling me, man, that you feel like something might be, I call it IDD.
Yeah.
Some people might be PTSD syndrome.
I think it's PTSD.
But I call it IDD because I think it's a separate thing, man, because these folks did that. When they take everything from you and give you everything, they create you dependency.
Yeah.
And if I'm not, like, in prison, even though prison is psychologically hard and it's physically hard when it's violent in a moment, but it's not always like that in Tennessee. But if you used to child time, you feel me? I mean, you ain't got to worry about nothing. You can survive in prison just on child. Even though it's not good, you can survive. I didn't say you can really thrive.
Hey,
I said you can survive. And, man, what do you think that's doing to people, man?
It's messing us up. But I've been telling people for years that that I got PTSD, and that a lot of us from prison got PTSD because, like, trauma is not always violent.
Right.
Trauma can be psychological as well.
Absolutely. And trauma lives in your body.
Exactly. So I feel like that a lot of us got PTSD because of what we experienced, even if we didn't experience no violence. Now, some of us seen violence. You know what I'm saying? Up close and some of us participated in violence. Up close and personal for survival.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? And so I think that it's a lot of cats that should be able to file for that, but of course, they don't do that. You know what I'm saying? Not for us. You know what I'm saying? You have to be in the army, armed forces to get that right there. But
so that, to me, that's another form of felonyism.
That's another form of felonyism right there. Right. I think a lot of us suffer from PTSD right now, man. When you get finished, man, we was fucked. That shit ain't for no human being.
What do you think about identity as a black man in America? I mean, when I say what you think about identity, like, as a black man in America, there was a point to where we thought ourselves as niggas. Some people say we niggas, right? But we say we changed the name, whatever. Then they said we was colored. Then they said we was Afro-American, right? And then somebody said, we African-American. And so, like, in Negro, did I say Negro? Did somebody say,
I think that's the first one.
Like, I mean, nigga was before that, but like, so what effects do you think when people telling you who you are as far as, like, as a group, how does that affect us if we ain't even defining ourselves? And
well, that embed, like, a lot of stuff that we've been through have embedded fear in us.
From slavery, or from being in America?
From mostly for slavery, just being in America. It's like, we Americans, man. So the game is different for us. Like, it ain't never been no people like us on the planet.
Right. I testify to that.
Yeah.
There's no other people of color.
On the planet like us.
Because we had our own experience.
Yeah. Not only that, we bigger than them. We bigger, like, when you see them, like, it's a couple of them African 7-8 foot.
Yeah, but that's rap.
We bigger than them. We stronger than them. We beat them in everything. Basketball, football,
baseball,
everything. We all around. I ain't talking about in the United States. I'm talking about
all around the world.
We even beat other niggas.
Well,
nobody can beat us.
And what do you think that is? Do you think that was because we had to endure the middle passage?
Nah.
Or do you think it was what the genes that we develop in on the plantation. Because one thing I learned from my studies, like a scientist, like when I was in the Nation, they taught me to be scientific in my thinking, and it's like they got these things in your genes called trait markers. But you can turn certain things on by environment, certain experiences,
smells,
all that, and it's already in us. But because like a lot of black people in America who connect to the slave passage, they got high blood pressure. Some people think that might have came as a result of drinking that salt water.
Maybe.
You know what I'm saying? But I don't know.
Pass through the genes.
Then most of us, we got white in us.
I don't think a lot of
because of the mix.
I think a lot of high blood pressure come from white folks. White folks naturally got high blood pressure.
Do they?
Don't talk about
I didn't even know it.
The reason why is because they ain't got long for this planet. They ain't whatchamacallit, man. They ain't natural. They ain't organic.
Well, because the sun, and having this melanin.
They are brothers.
Yeah, they humans.
They human beings. Don't get me wrong.
Because according to the Nation, we birthed them in that sense. But everybody's roots is in
Africa, no matter
what they call Africa. When I say,
and then I light skin ass is way down.
And that's when I say what they call Africa. I'm saying that the continent wasn't always called Africa. A lot of people don't know that. But you had Pangaea, you had Alkebulan and Pangaea, and so
Egypt. Ethiopia. They call the whole
Mesopotamia. I mean, well, that was probably a country in Africa, but there's a lot that goes on about that country that we don't really know about. But it's what we taught, and that's why I'm saying, like, we say we African Americans, but like the only thing that I know that has to be a fact is because I got melanin in my skin is that I got to have African in me. But I don't speak nothing. I don't know nothing. I'm like Americanized, and I'm like, is we our own thing as a people? And have we decided? Have we defined ourselves
Negroes,
as black people
Negroes,
in America?
Niggas, black, African,
colored,
all them people. We are. This is what people don't understand. It's a science to this, and you can look it up, or you can try to figure it out. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Because I don't claim to be no guru.
I
just put stuff out there, and then we discuss.
We'll research it. What it is.
Exactly. We are a created race of people.
Okay. Break that down for the people who might want to know what that in your best way.
Over centuries, we were bred.
We were bred in what they call North America.
Exactly.
In chattel slavery.
Exactly. We were bred over time, over centuries.
Yeah.
The big bone girl with the big tall buck.
The buck and the thick sister.
Because we picking cotton.
Yeah, they need the strongest, blackest.
They were fucking breeding us like fucking
animals, like dogs, pedigree type shit,
like puppies.
Yeah.
So Negroes, black people. That's why I still call us niggas, because and we should be proud of that because that's all we got.
But break that down when you say that, because some people look at nigga like some people look at nigga as a pejorative, like that's the white people call us niggas because they call us nothing.
White people call us niggas because they created a whole race of motherfuckers, man. It ain't never been nobody like us on the planet. And guess what? We the strongest, we the smartest, we the bravest. They can't do nothing with us. That's why they try to keep us down, because we can take this shit over if we stand up and realize who we are. You understand what I'm saying? But that's neither here nor there.
Right.
I'm saying is they created us to be burden bearers.
Right.
Like
to work for their
stallion or like a horse.
To work for their ass. Like Mango Dingo Warrior type.
Exactly.
I read this book. I read this book called Wash, man. It kind of gets into that.
But like we take it as derogatory and negative.
Yeah.
What I'm saying is
because of them saying it.
We wouldn't be here.
All right, so how would you feel if a white person called you nigga? Would that fuck with you?
I don't care.
I mean, seriously, Lex. Think about it.
I don't care. It depends on in what way he called.
I mean, what way can a white man call a black man a nigga?
I'm saying like
besides like I hate you, like you ain't shit to me.
Well,
if you call me a nigga, I call you a nigga. You know I don't mean no harm, right?
I guess at this point, at my age, man, when I was younger, I would have whooped them. You know what I'm saying? Simple as that. I think that at my age, and then I feel like this right here, that if you accept your favorite rapper, your favorite movie star.
My favorite rapper is Tupac.
Anybody say nigga, did everybody get to say it?
I mean, it's always gonna be a controversial subject matter.
It's just my point of view. Like I put on my Facebook page.
That's real though.
Why you always saying nigga? Because I see so many. Stop acting like a nigga.
All right, so but when you say nigga though, okay, when you say that, then what you saying? Because that means you got a certain context for what you say, and when you say nigga, you got a context, right? You got your context, so that might not mean what the
white boy gonna.
Because the white dude, let's say people that's following Trump that may call somebody nigga, they really mean like I'm better than you. Yeah. Right? They might say that, but then you got some white dudes, like when I was in prison, I didn't even heard of before, they called them wiggers.
Yeah.
Wiggers, they call them, and I'm saying, what? Wiggers? White niggas. I'm like, what?
I grew up with a couple.
Yeah, man. And I'm like, so for real? Yeah. But, you know, sometimes race can be a burden to some people because, like, if you trapped in, you say you know, people say, well, they say you black, but you didn't say you was black. You was born and you had a mama, you had a daddy, they named you.
Yeah.
And then somebody told you was black. Yeah. And then next thing you know, you either accepted that. Yeah, you either accepted that or you
I think I'm brown.
But you look brown. You look paper sack brown. Yeah. But a color don't define you as your identity, right? Like, you know, one of my most favorite poems in my book titled Save Your Own Life, Choosing the Right Path is Not Always Clear. I start off with a question like, who am I? And I say, society doesn't seem to know. I say, representing the unheard voices, my name is Roger Lowe. You see us in it now, our prison condition, blind to the facts of our mental afflictions, past decisions made before our 15-second mindless crime spree, felony convictions, the money, the honeys, the madness, materialistic sadness, 13 brothers, 5 sisters, seriously drastic. Who am I? Now, I go on and I keep talking about that poem, and then at the end, I ask a question, then I say Africa or England, and which do I claim motherland? America the beautiful, America the great, America, 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 it's not too late, who am I? And I say, I am you. I was made in America.
Yeah.
I mean, where else was I made?
All of us were.
But some people hate America. Now, you say Tennessee is cool, right?
Yeah.
Nashville is like a Athens of the South. But they say Nashville is like the Athens of the South. That's what they say, right?
That's because of that fucking Parthenon over there. These